What's going on, fam? It's your boy Sydney. Welcome back to the Naked Gardener channel. This video we're going to be doing some planting of some berry plants that we got from the Stark brothers. Now, a little bit about this is when we first got onto this homestead, I asked a lot of my nephews and nieces and our children what types of plants and berries and fruits that they would love to eat on a daily basis, so that way when they do come and visit, they will be able to have some of those favorite fruits that they like. Let me show you what those are. So we got a lot of these from Stark Brothers, like the strawberries that's already got some flowers on them. A lot of these are perennials, so once we plant them, we don't ever have to worry about them again. We got some blackberries, some strawberries, some elderberries. Let's see, we got some gooseberries, which I never heard of. None of the nephews, nieces requested this. However, our permaculture coach suggested that we grow this in our permaculture orchard. What else we got here? We got some blueberries, different types of blueberries, some more blueberries, and some lantanas and some raspberries. So I got mini me here. He's getting ready so we can move these out into the orchard. We're going to show you how we're going to prepare the soil, what you should do for distance wise, fertilize, and different other types of care products. So a while back we rented a mini X and dug some holes for our permaculture orchard. And we also got some compost along with some other soil amendments to help plant our berry bushes. We noticed that once we started looking at that compost, it was very hot. It hasn't matured or aged. We saw some steam coming up from that. So we did a test just to see if the compost was ready. And how we did that, we got some of that compost, planted some seeds in there of some tomatoes and some peas. And the reason why we did that, they are heavy feeders. So if they don't sprout up, that means all that nitrogen is still being broken down and won't be able to feed off of that nitrogen. So we couldn't use it. We waited till that nitrogen was depleted from the compost being broken down. Once we seen it was sprouting, we noticed that it was at least ready for us to use these as a amendment. So now that the compost is ready, we're ready to plant these. A lot of these berry brambles are shallow rooted, so we didn't dig too deep with these. Normally you don't have to dig about anywhere from 6 to 9 inches, but we did a whole foot. So now let's go ahead and get those onto the cart. I love these bootstrap farmer trays. You could do this with one hand with these bad boys. So berry plants love acidic soil. Out here in North Texas, we have a lot of clay soil and basically neutral soil. So what we're going to do to lower the pH of that is we're going to add some of this peat moss. You could do cocoa coir or other amendments as well. We'll talk about that here later. Then we're going to do 3 parts amendments to incorporate with the holes that we have already dug, like I said before. We're going to take 1 part of this compost and then 1 part of this manure and 1 part of this peat moss, mix it up for each one of these holes that we have. We're going to add some rock phosphate, which is a very slow releasing amendment of phosphorus. And that's going to help build the plant up for when the springtime comes around. Now, if you don't have peat moss and you want to sour your soil or lower the acidic level of your soil, you can add sulfur. You can also add a soil acidifier to help lower the pH of your soil. First, now we're just going to do the 3 part, and then we're going to start planting. Like I said, to help lower your pH soil, you could use a soil acidifier, or you can use some sulfur, or just keep on using a little bit more peat moss. We're just going to do a handful of the sulfur. And these are not required. You don't have to do this if you already check your pH level. And a little bit of acidifier. And then we're going to add a little bit of this kelp meal to add some micronutrients to the soil. We're going to do a handful of this rock phosphate, so that way by the time it breaks down, the plant should be well established and we'll be good to go. All right, fill it up with the rest of the soil. This is the blackberry. And we're gonna tease the roots a little bit. Pound it down, just like that. We'll make a little crater. So that way the water can soak in all around here. Now, if you want a hedge-like blackberry bush, you want to plant these anywhere between 1 foot to 2 foot apart. However, we want to be able to harvest all around these, so we did it in rows, and we got it about anywhere from 5 to 10 feet apart. The little mini-me is going to finish mixing these up, and we're going to show you what it's going to look like after we're done with everything. Well, we're on our last hole for today. We did, this would be our 10th hole. And then we got 3 more over there, 6. We got 6, some jujube, gooseberries, I should say. We got 2 gooseberries, and then we're going to do the bay leaves and the rosemary plants the following day. So this is our last hole, and we've been using a lot more of the topsoil, so that way the plant, the berry plant that we're using, will be already used to the surrounding soil of it. We got the peat moss is going to allow it to retain some of the moisture, and also to help acidify the soil. So after this, we're going to be wrapping it up, calling a night, go eat some breakfast, and do some QT time with the family. We have accomplished a lot in getting this far in less than a year, yet we still have so much to do. We know this investment is worth it, and we look forward to enjoying this with our family and friends in the future. Now we have to start working on these fruit tree holes. We rented out a Mini X to dig these holes. If you want to see that video, we'll put it right there for you to watch.